In this video, I'm going to be talking about why I sold the Sony MDR Z1R headphones. First of all, let me say that the Z1R headphones are really nice headphones. I really liked them. They were, in fact, my favorite headphones for a number of years. When I say something like 2 or 3 years at least. But the main thing is I'm somebody who doesn't like to keep all of the headphones that come through here or that I purchased. I'm sort of minimalist in that respect. That's a bit of the way that I operate. I don't like to have too many choices of headphones to choose from at any given moment. And I like to mostly stick to one main headphone and then have another headphone for using in another place around the house or something like that. And generally I like to have ideally one be open and one be closed. So I'm kind of minimalist in that respect, and that's kind of where I'm coming from here. I just don't like to have a lot of clutter around, a lot of extra equipment around. But the main gist of it is I got the Hi-Fi Man Aria headphones, and I will post a link to that at the top right, so be sure to check that out if you haven't seen that. And I realized that I really like those better than the Z1R headphones for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is that the Z1R headphones do tend to exhibit a bit of harshness in the highs. And Sony has done a fairly good job of taming the drivers, but this is something that is true with all dynamic driver headphones, all regular driver headphones. They tend to resonate at certain frequencies, usually in the highs, a lot more than a planar headphone. Planar magnetic headphones such as the Hi-Fi Man Aria or even like the Odyssey headphones or other planar headphones tend to have a much smoother frequency response across all frequencies, whereas standard speaker driver headphones, headphones that have basically a little mini speaker in them, have a bit more distortion in them, and that distortion is something that can be heard, and that is something that is exhibited in the Sony Z1R headphones. And while some of that can be EQ'd out, it is still there when you're listening on a critical kind of level. And speaking of the Sony Z1R EQ, I will post a video at the top right where I talk about what the ideal EQ settings for the Z1R headphones are, because I did find some ideal settings to EQ those. The other issue was bass. Now, some people really like the bass on the Z1R, and I thought that I did as well. It tends to be very accentuated and booming bass, and it's almost too much actually when you really take a step back and look at it. It makes it sound like you have a subwoofer installed like all the time. Now, some people really like that sound, don't get me wrong, I like it too. I used to be a total bass head. But when you really get into it and start comparing it with other headphones, you realize that it might be a little bit too much and may not actually be as accurate as you may want. So those are really the main two reasons why I got rid of the Z1R headphones. I had no complaints with them other than these two main complaints. They, again, sound really good for closed-back headphones and are probably one of the best sounding closed-back headphones out there that you can get. They're very comfortable, the build quality is really good, they look really cool and all that kind of stuff, so no major complaints with them at all. It's just that after I got the Hi-Fi Man Aria headphones, which are planar magnetic headphones, I really noticed immediately the sort of smoother tonality of them, especially with regards to the high frequencies and also a bit in the mids as well. They just have a sort of more crystal clear kind of a sound where it's almost a comparison, if you want to put an analogy to it, where the Z1Rs would have sort of maybe a crushed ice type of a sound in the highs, whereas the Hi-Fi Man Arias have more of a crystal sound, not crushed, solid crystal kind of a sound in the highs. That's one analogy I think is sort of appropriate when comparing the two headphones. That being said, you should note that I do EQ the Hi-Fi Man Aria headphones as well to make them sound a little bit more ideal, because even the Arias, for my liking, have a little bit of some peaks in the high frequencies, and then I do like to boost the bass up a little bit on them, because planar magnetic headphones typically don't boom as hard as a dynamic headphone in the bass region, so I do up the bass a little bit, but I just generally like the overall tonality of the Hi-Fi Man Aria planar headphones versus the Sony Z1R headphones. The other thing as well is that the Aria headphones are open headphones and the Z1Rs are not. So I wanted a pair of open headphones because I still have, for my closed headphones, the AudioQuest Night Owl Carbon headphones, which I still really like. So now I've got one open headphone and one closed headphone that I can choose from. And so in some ways that kind of left the Z1R the sort of odd man out, for lack of a better term. Again, I want to reiterate, the Sony MDR Z1R headphones are not bad headphones by any means. It's just that when I took a look at what headphones I had, it was, again, sort of the odd man out, and the one that in the lineup I wasn't choosing very often at all. So did decide to get rid of them. So that about sums it up for this video. For community and discussion, if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please feel free to leave a comment. And please hit the subscribe button and also hit that bell so you can be notified of any future videos that I publish. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video.